Hey guys, welcome to our crazy RV. Today we're talking about the one thing that I don't really like talking about, and that's winterizing the camper and how to properly winterize your RV. And the reason I don't like talking about it is because that means that camping season for us is over. We don't always get down to the bottom of the states, and often we're up here in Manitoba and it's minus 40 out here in the winter, so camping in a camper just isn't possible when you're at minus 40 temperatures. So with that in mind, there's a couple things you got to take care of, and there's also a couple things that you may have forgotten about that would just make life better for you in the spring if you do that. So the first thing you have to do is drain your lines of all the water. Make sure all the water is out of your line. Make sure you've dumped your RV, that the septic tanks are empty, that there's nothing in there. It's better if you don't have any water in there to help break lines. Now on our RV, this is the way it works. Each RV might be slightly different. You might have to add in your own line in order to make this happen. In ours, it's hooked up to the water pump. So on the water pump here, I have a little valve that I'm going to turn off. And this will prevent the water pump from pulling out of the freshwater tank. Once that's done, I'm going to open up this second valve that I have, and this will open up a tube, and I'm going to put that tube into my RV antifreeze. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to open up the water for the hot water tank, and we're just going to let that drain out. Now you don't want to put antifreeze into your hot water tank, so you're going to close off the valves for that, so that the antifreeze will not actually cycle through the hot water tank. And you'll just drain the hot water tank. We'll leave that open so that if there is any water left in there, it can just expand and it won't break anything during the winter. So once that's done, then we can hook up our jug of RV antifreeze, and it just looks like this. It's the pink stuff. It's 9.5 liters, and it works great. It covers all of the plumbing unless you drain it out onto the street, which is something that I did a couple years ago accidentally. We won't do that this year. So after we're done, we hook that up, and then we can turn on our water pump. So we're going to turn on our water pump. We're going to open this up, turn on our water pump, and you can see here it's going to start sucking. And then it's going to go to here. And I'm going to switch. So this is all of our water coming out of our hot water line. And once it switches over to being pink, then we know that we're good. There we go. So we got antifreeze coming in our hot water line. Antifreeze coming in our other line. We're going to shut that off. Now I'm going to go back to the bathroom. And I did that one first because it's our longest run. And after this, it should be easy. So there we go. We got pink right away. A little bit of pink there. Now switch to the bathtub. Some pink there. Pink there. And don't forget about your shower head, or your shower head will explode. Okay, kitchen sink done, bathroom sink, bathtub, shower head. Gonna go ahead and do the toilet. Same thing, we're gonna let this run until it turns pink. I'm not gonna show you this part. Got that in there, and that is all of the inside. I do want to go ahead and do the shower head on the outside. You can see that just doing that so far, I've used up about 3/4 of that. I will do the outside, and then I actually leave mine hooked up all year long. Like, I just leave it in here, and then if I ever need to top it up or whatever, I've got a little bit of extra in there. Same thing with our shower head on the outside. We got some pink coming out of there. It's not going to explode on us during the winter. Now that that's done, I'm just going to turn off my water pump, and I'm just going to go like this and release the pressure on it. Release the pressure on the lines. I don't need to have them pressurized during the winter. So you have to look in every single pantry in your camper and make sure you don't have any food, and actually wipe them all out. And the reason you want to do this is you don't want to leave bait in here to attract mice and for them to think, oh, we have to find a way to get into here because I can smell food. So making sure you clean everything out is essential. The other thing that I don't do is I don't put the stabilizers down in the winter, and like the back stabilizers. And the reason for that is if I ever do need to get out in the winter and there's 6 feet of snow, this way I don't have all of that ice and stuff in the rear stabilizers. I can just pick up the front and take off. We're also going to take all of our toiletries and like all of the extra paper towel and toilet paper and such, and make sure that that's up in a high cabinet that's not accessible by anything else. And that way if a mouse does for whatever reason get in here, even though we've done our complete mouse proofing, if you haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out on the channel. All the mouse proofing done, if they do get in here, they're not going to find anything to nest with because we've hidden it way up top and they won't be destroying that on us. We're going to make sure that all the garbages are emptied, recycling's cleaned out, and that the fridge is wiped out. Once we've done this, we are good to go. Make sure to check out ourcrazyRV.com/how to winterize my RV. That will give you a complete breakdown and a checklist of everything you have to do, as well as any other discussion. What do you do for winterizing your RV? What are some of the steps and things that you take care of? Leave them in the comments below. Everyone's got something different and we can always add and learn from everyone else. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you in the next video.